House Speaker John Boehner doesn't think his colleagues in the Senate have the guts to put the president's spending plans up for a vote. Speaker Boehner calling the Senate's bluff just a short time ago. Take a listen.
The president wants more stimulus spending that we know doesn't create jobs. I would expect the United States Senate to go ahead and take it up. If the president wants more tax hikes that destroy jobs, then his Democrat allies in the Senate ought to take it up. This isn't the agenda that many Americans are looking for. And I think many in the president's own party won't support those ideas.
The speaker also saying the sequester will be in effect until we have spending cuts and tax reform that lead to a balanced budget. Time now for Lou Dobbs. Tough words there from the speaker. You believe it?
I do believe him, and I do think, by the way, that it is about time he started talking that way. Excuse me. I think he's exactly right. Why not go to regular order? Why not let the Senate move ahead? If they are excited about raising taxes, go for it. Want to put in cap and trade? Do it. Give us a bill. We'll take it up. That's the way it works. And except they've allowed this president, this administration, to get away with utter nonsense when it comes to moving forward with the people's business. They need to return to the Constitution. They need to return to traditional process, checks and balances, and let the let the chips fall where they may.
I thought it was so interesting. Ratings came in from the State of the Union address. Yeah. Lowest level in fewest number of Americans watching in 13 years.
Yeah.
That's a huge message.
I think it's a message that perhaps resonates with Speaker Boehner. He basically, if you listen very carefully to what Speaker Boehner said, after all of this, we've gone through the fiscal cliff, we've gone through the continuing resolutions, we've got the sequester, we've had the super committee, all of this. He's basically saying to the president, we no longer take you seriously. You are treating us with respect. You are not, in our opinion, regarding the laws and the conventions and traditions of the country. In dealing with Capitol Hill, do as you will with the Senate, but this is the way we're going to do business, Mr. President. And I would think they're very concerned right now, because we have now less than 2 weeks before sequester. The president has not even come forward with a hint of a plan about how to avoid what he has said himself will be onerous, devastating results, particularly for our military. And at the same time, he has proclaimed to the American people that sequester will not happen. He has now moved this within such a narrow window of opportunity to stop sequester that he's going to be a miracle worker if he can overcome all that he has put in front of himself. This is a disaster, if it turns out to be that, of his own making.
Meanwhile, I mean, if you look at the ratings, as Lori pointed out, Americans in frustration are tuning away from what the president has to say, but we couldn't be at a more critical time. I mean, this is so important to the future of our country and our children.
Well, listen, they're not only, Americans are not only tuning away from him and not paying attention, as you said, Lori, to what he's saying in a State of the Union address, which was billed as being a really big deal. He was going to be aggressive, and he was going to come out and really show us the way forward. We are watching the American people diverge from this administration in what they think should be done. They have the opposite view on most issues that this president is taking up. They're opposite him on comprehensive immigration reform and border security in particular. They are opposite him on gun control and the Second Amendment. They are opposite him on raising taxes. They're opposite him on cutting spending. He doesn't want to cut spending. The American people, by a huge margin, understand that this is a government that is out of control and requires some constraint and responsible leadership.
Oh, we could go on and on. Unfortunately, we got a split, though, so let's talk about what's coming.
I thought you said we could go on and on.
I'd love to go on and on, because, I'm really curious. Maybe tomorrow we can get into how you see this March 1st deadline approaching, and if we're looking at an 11th hour similar to the fiscal cliff deal, and just having it be just, white-knuckle frustration times. All right, so tonight, let's talk about what's coming up for you tonight at 7 and 10.
That's right. Tonight, Michael Boyd joins Lou on the merger that has created the world's biggest airline. What will that do to the future of the airline industry?
Raise prices?
I'm just guessing.
Inevitably. But there's lots of other nuances to it as well, so you got to watch.